Hey everybody, C here, and by request of one of you, but it was a good suggestion. This is gonna be a deck profile for my Speedroid roleplay deck. This one is currently the version after the one in the most recent episode. Sorry, episode 3 is taking so long. Just there's a lot of things completely out of my control, and just getting people together is a pain in the ass. Anyway, let's get into it. For those of you who don't play Speedroids, basically they're a spam synchro archetype that can also occasionally do some Xyz plays. But their main playmaker is Speedroid Terrortop, which most of you probably know what it does already, and Speedroid Takatomborg, which, again, most of you probably know what its first effect is, which, of course, is its special summoning effect. Its second effect is the one that's important for pure Speedroids. If you contribute it, and then special summon any Speedroid tuner from your deck, but by locking yourself into wind monsters for the rest of the turn. That is huge, because that means without using your normal summon, you can immediately get Den in place, you can continue your combo plays if you already have a tuner in your hand or graveyard that you need to unjam. Red-Eyed Dice for most of your synchro plays. Tri-Eyed is just kind of there for filler. OMK Gum is there just, yeah, again, for shenanigans and gimmick plays. But Fiend Magnet, the fact that without using your normal summon, you can just drop Fiend Magnet, and because Fiend Magnet makes it so you have to go into a wind monster with it anyway, the locking you into wind monsters doesn't matter with Takatomborg. So attributing it to go into Fiend Magnet it's pretty big in this deck. Menko, which maybe some of you already know, but basically someone declares a direct attack, you can special summon an attack, then change all their monsters to defense mode. Really useful in a bind, and also it's basically the only thing in the deck that you could use for rank 4 plays. Bamboo Horse. It's another big playmaker, especially if you don't have Terrortop. This is your next best playmaker, which basically normal summon, you can special summon a level 4 lower Speedroid from your hand. Typically, you're going to want one of your tuners, because then you can immediately go into a synchro play. But its second effect is the one that's more important, is you can banish it from the grave and send any other Speedroid to take its place. Usually you're going to send one of your tuners, or if it's not there, Denda and Daikaduke. Double Yo-Yo. It's really simple. Just summon it and then grab back from the graveyard one of your tuners. And if you were playing real life, then you could also grab Terrortop for another search. But the way Ego Pro has Terrortop programmed, it only gets the search when it's special summoned from the hand. If it's summoned from the deck with if it's summoned from the deck or from the graveyard, you don't get the search. Pachin Go-Kart, less useful, but it's still just there, just as an 18 beat stick, and also can be useful to target Clearwing, just so you can activate it on your own turn without having to rely on your opponent to destroy a thing is the less useful effect. Then Skull Marbles. This thing is actually, like, I used to think this thing was horrible, but then I threw it in my roleplay deck, and I found out it's not complete crap. It's still very situational, and especially the fact that it blows itself up if you have any other monster beside another Speedroid. So, like, if you, say, have Winterbell, Clearwing, Crystal Wing, Vermilion, or Leo, or, you know, any of your Xyz, then it immediately blows itself up. But the fact that you could just run it into something for guaranteed damage, essentially, is pretty big. And also the fact that it's just a 3k wall if you don't want to scare them with them dealing themselves damage. Also the fact that it can't be destroyed by battle with a normal summon monster is just icing on the cake. And Radiant is just... I just got rid of Radiant. Super professional, guys. But... oh, god damn it. Radiant's just there because RP. Like, I'm basically forced to have it. Just because, ooh, I'm evil. Side deck is where things get interesting, though. Most of these cards you guys won't see, but occasionally, if it calls for it, or once I make some more modifications, then you'll probably see more of these, but I'm not really going to go into detail with these right now. Spell a Trap lineup. Galaxy Cyclone, Raigeki, Pot of Greed, because RP. Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, cause RP. Triple Speed Recovery, Card of Sanctity, cause RP. Triple Speedroid Scratch. This is a fantastic card, and it sucks that it's anime only. This is a fantastic card, and especially considering Terratop is the only searcher the deck has, Scratch does amazing work to increase the deck's consistency. Speed is more situational, but still can get you out of a really big jam if you do have it. Twin Twisters, one Storming Mirror Force, because I don't like running more than one, I just feel like a dick. Bottomless, double Scrap Iron, double Call the Haunted, Ghoul Summoner, which is a fantastic 5Ds era card that Yusei used once after he failed to Axel Synchro, but then, yeah, whatever, I don't need story. Basically, it's Call the Haunted for Synchros, but then you could also discard a card to summon another Synchro from your graveyard and you take damage equal to its attack, which is really useful for recovery, especially considering life point cost isn't too big of a deal, as any of you who has ever dealt with Solemns can attest to. Then Speedroid Shuriken Hurricane. This thing, it's an interesting anime card with interesting effects, but they're both very situational, and even when they do go off, it's not too crazy. But at least, like, if you control no Speedroid monsters, destroy it. So that's just basically a better... It is strictly better destruction condition than Skull Marbles, but it's still in the similar vein. Extra deck. We've got Puzzle, just for the level 4, just in case I, like, don't have access to, like, another thing, so I just want to tune with Terratop if I don't want to Red-Eye Dice it, which is unlikely, but the option's still there. Like, usually it's to OMK Gum into it with Terratop. Chambara. Most of you know how Chambara works. It's in a lot of extra decks. Kendama. Its piercing damage is less useful, but it's still kind of useful. The 500 damage is basically... It's just there. It's not even that useful. The main thing is that if I control no cards, you can special summon it from the grave, which can definitely buy you, like, another turn. Maybe another 2 turns, if your opponent only has, like, 1, maybe 2 monsters. Windwitch Winterbell, which is actually really useful to get things out of your hand, and then, like you guys saw in last episode, you can just do that with any of the level 3 tuners and then go immediately into a Leo, which is really useful. Clearwing. This is my baby. Not Crystal, Clearwing. Just, nobody seems to understand that Clearwing has 2 negation effects, while Crystal only has 1. Basically, the main difference is that Clearwing can only negate things on board, whereas Crystal Wing can negate 1 monster effect anywhere. Which, they're both useful. They're both very useful. But I think, and while Crystal Wing is more consistent with its negation, and is much more broad in its negation, Clearwing's negates are still... they're not useless. Vermilion Dragon Mech, I don't think I've ever brought this thing out in this deck, because it's just so awkward to go into level 9 in this deck, because I'd basically have to use Crystal Wing to do it, which, yeah, preferably not. Then Leo. So yeah, then I'm just gonna jump into an AI match real quick. I understand that this isn't, like, crazy, but I didn't format this, I didn't script this, it's just something I want to screw around with, and now I just get to show you how this works. So this is a crap hand. This is a very good example of a very bad hand. Okay, let's just see if I can come back. Okay, let me try. Again. I don't know why Eclipse didn't resolve. Do you not have any targets for Eclipse or something? Okay, whatever. Recovery. Go cart. Go cart. Yeah, Lightning Story. Damn it, freaking breakthrough skill. Okay. I understand that this might be boring to log in. I'm sorry. This is, oh god, this is bad. I had a really bad opening. It was a really bad opening. I really wish I'd get to show off some of the combo plays, but who knows, might get Terra Top off this. I didn't get Terra Top off that. I did, however, get Scratch. So, Scratch. Stomach was just useless right now. Terra Top. Terra Top. Yeah, it's like Tumborg. Tumborg. Distribute it. I don't have any other tuners in play, so use it. Oh, yeah. Beam Magnet. Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Yep. And then I don't have any other tuner, do I? Yep. So that'd be useless. Card. Yep. I understand I'm not the best commentator, but crashing. Oh. Okay, guess. Yeah, if we were in real life, then yeah, we called the Haunted Terra Top so I get the additional search. But nope. Because programming is... I've actually tried programming in this a lot of times, but I do not know how to program in Lua at all. I'm not gonna pretend like I know how to program in Lua at all. Yeah. So then... 5. Leo. I don't care, because I got my boots. Just have to collapse your pin though. Yep. And activate it. Oh, breakthrough skill. Crap. Not entirely sure why I just completely blanked on that. You know, I'll let that. Because then call the Haunted. Recovery for Terra Top. Normal summon for Take. Getting some of the combos in. Just not as many as I'd like. Den's the main like combo extender of the deck, so Den. I could, yeah, V-Magnet. For John Barra. Clap spin. Yep. This is also another fun thing to do. Negating for attack points, and especially with Sean Barra, because then you could just add another Banished Speedroid to your hand. Just useful in a lot more situations. Right, should have done that in reverse order. Forgot how that works. Now, if he activates... Fuck! Arc! Okay, yeah, but you can't get over Leo. Yep. There we go. So yeah, Speedroids. I love the archetype, and I wish more people played it, but I understand it can be a fairly high difficulty curve considering it's a very combo-heavy deck that requires a lot of memorization. Fuck off, Siri. Sorry about that. But yeah, I just wish more people played it, and I understand that this was a very just off-the-cuff kind of random video, but I kind of felt guilty for leaving you guys hanging for so long on episode 3. It's in the works. It's in the works. And I really wish I could say more than that. But currently we have the main duel for the episode done, but all of the scenes, we just can't get the people to get the scenes done. So I'm sorry. I'm still working hard to get this out. And I'm sorry it's taking so long. But we'll get around to it. Okay. Well, this is Seafers signing off for now. And I'll talk to you guys later.